How do you feel when you try something and it comes easily? Do you feel driven to pursue it because of your natural talent? Or do you quickly get bored and move on? BJ Penn was different from everyone else. His talent in fighting was something unrepeatable. But behind every success, there was a man who sabotaged himself. And he knew it. BJ Penn was born and raised in Hilo, Hawaii. He is the youngest of 4 brothers. He loved brawling, action movies, and went by the name Baby J. Fighting was his way of playing. Every opportunity was a good one to fight. His father, worried, pushes him towards martial arts. BJ tries jiu-jitsu. And from that moment, everything changes. After being submitted during the first training session, BJ thinks, with this, I can dominate Hilo. He moves to California to train with Hal Gracie, then flies to Brazil and is welcomed by Nova União. After 3.5 years, he gets the black belt. A week later, he wins the world championship as a black belt, becoming the first non-Brazilian to do so. It's 2000. He's 21 years old. The nickname that will never leave him is Born the Prodigy. In 2001, he made his UFC debut. He submitted and knocked out everyone. In a few months, he got a title shot against Jens Pulver. He was 23 years old. If he won, he would become the youngest champion in UFC history. But he lost on points, and that defeat would mark him for his entire career. He returned to Hawaii, fell back into old habits, parties, alcohol, friends. But there was another opportunity. After more victories, BJ challenged Kaol Uno for the vacant belt. But the match ended in a draw. No title. Frustrated, Penn left the UFC and faced Takanori Gomi in an event he organized himself. He dominated him. But the real shock came later. BJ Penn challenged Matt Hughes, the dominant welterweight champion. No one gave him a chance, but BJ submitted him in the first round. At 24, he became UFC champion in a second weight category. The prodigy struck again. Then disaster struck. He asked the UFC for a raise. The answer was no. BJ signs with K1. He is immediately stripped of the title and leaves for Japan, where he beats Duane Ludwig, then even faces Lyoto Machida, 20 kg heavier. He loses but never backs down. Years later, he makes peace with Dana White. He returns to the UFC and faces Georges St-Pierre in 2006. BJ starts strong but gives up in the distance. GSP dominates him on points. BJ enters a crisis, falling into depression. But then comes the rematch he has been waiting for years. Jens Pulver. The two coach the Ultimate Fighter 5, and when they meet in the octagon, BJ destroys him. It's his personal revenge. He finishes him off with violence. Now he's ready to take back the lightweight belt. He faces Joe Stevenson for the vacant title. He beats him up. He cuts him down, submits him, then licks the blood off his glove. He then defends the title against Sean Shirk and Diego Sanchez. He's dominant. For the first time in his career, he trained seriously with the Marinovich brothers, a revolutionary athletic training team. And it shows. In 2009, the dream continues. BJ challenges GSP for the welterweight title in an unprecedented super fight. But once again, GSP is too much. He dominates him. Penn's team accuses St-Pierre of using Vaseline on his body. The NSAC opens an investigation but doesn't punish GSP. Penn is furious, but he doesn't give up. He returns to lightweight and destroys Kenny Florian, then Sanchez. 2 clean title defenses. BJ seems unbeatable, but he makes the same mistake again. He breaks up with the Marinovichs. He goes back to managing his camps alone. In 2010, he faces Frankie Edgar and loses. His first loss at lightweight in 8 years. The reign is over. In the rematch, it goes worse. Edgar dominates him. BJ retires for the first time, but he will return again. He faces Matt Hughes and knocks him out in 21 seconds. But then he loses to Nick Diaz, Rory McDonald, and Edgar again. Each return is a disaster. Slower and slower, further and further from his peak. In 2019, after 7 losses in a row, Dana White stops him publicly. Win, lose, or draw, this is BJ Penn's last fight. And so it was. Outside the octagon, BJ gets into trouble. He is caught in street fights in Hilo. His name is in the news, but not for his victories. He is no longer a prodigy. He is a man who cannot stop fighting. "I want to fight for the rest of my life," he will say. "Even if I were a politician or something, I would feel like I was missing something." And maybe that's the point. BJ Penn had an immense gift, but talent is not enough. You need discipline. He had it at times, enough to become a legend, but never enough to stay there. BJ Penn had it all: talent, heart, charisma, but not always the will to sacrifice himself. He was a prodigy, yes, but also the protagonist of his own downfall. And that's why his story remains unique, inimitable, legendary. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and write in the comments what you think of BJ Penn's career. Was he really the greatest wasted talent in the history of MMA? Or simply human? See you in the next episode, always here on Global Combat Arena.